What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? I know y'all smell it in the air, man. It's that time of year. But first, before we start getting into all the smells and all the shit we smell out in this time of year, man, what's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. And as the network grows, trust me, y'all will know. We got big things coming for y'all. But again, like I say, Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network, man. And like I say, man, we just all sports, only Houston. And it's football season is damn near back official. And y'all already know it's Wink Wednesday. So we got motherfucking me Wink in the house. How you doing this evening, Wink?
What's going on, everybody? You know, welcome to another Wink Wednesday. And shout out to Honcho for having me on once again. And we're about to start getting this sauce rolling.
Already. So y'all already know, man. I love using this little graphic here. It's football season. You know what I'm talking about. And good things are coming, man. You know, Texans have shown up at the Greenbrier. We're going to talk about a couple of things, though, tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit of the couple of players that got put on the PUP list. We're going to talk about a couple of players that are still available in free agency that may be entertaining. But before we get into any of that, before we go talking about any of that information, we got to talk about the most important motherfucking thing, man. And the most important motherfucking thing is you, Sauce Nation, the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world, man. So we'll get to that Sauce Nation roll call. If you're not familiar with the roll call, man, the roll call is you, man. Shout out your motherfucking side with pride if you are from the city. If you're not from the city, but you still got love for the sauce, man, let us know where to send a little bit of that digital computer love, man. You know what I'm saying? Your hood, avenue, block, military ranking, your zip code, avenue, your street, circle. If you live in a gated community, we're going to talk a little shit about you, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying? It's all Gucci, man. So, well, not Gucci, man. But like I say, man, let us know where to send that love so we can you know, just like I say, show the favor back that y'all show us. And we sincerely appreciate that. So let's see who we got in the sauce stirring up flavor tonight. And starting at the top of the motherfucking list, DeMarcus, what's the motherfucking deal? Voodoo Child. Already. Oh, look, Voodoo done beat Miss Voodoo C today, and now he talking trash. Ain't that let's see what we got going on, man. Like say, Miss Voodoo C, don't let him beat you next time, Miss Voodoo C. You know, if you got to trip him, whatever, take away his phone, whatever you got to do, man, you got to make sure you're in the sauce first. B-Shell, MC Slayton, what's the motherfucking deal? Zachariah, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. HTX Savage, what's the motherfucking deal? Jerry Montalvo, Matthew Parker, already, good to see you. Brandon Finister, what is the motherfucking deal? And again, always good to see y'all, man. Always see y'all. Money G, west of the row, representing the one day. Oh, he ain't gonna let you live it down. When the one day he got you, he gonna tell him, remember that Wednesday, remember that Wink Wednesday that I beat you to the sauce? Third ward in the motherfucking house. Already Matthew Parker. I see you smoking in California. I already look, hit the blunt twice for me. Or if you smoking J's, you know, hit the joint twice for you, boy. You'll already know. So again, man, we're gonna get into a couple of things, man. We're gonna talk about first, we're going to talk about the PUP list. You know, we're going to get into that, and we're going to discuss, you know, what that means and kind of the position that puts us in. And honestly, I don't think it's too much to worry about in that aspect. But we're going to discuss the names that are on the PUP list and the concerns that we have with those. And so, first, I think the biggest name, in my opinion, on the PUP list is one young Deontay Foreman. Now, again, the PUP list, we're on the active PUP list, so that means that they can be taken off at any time. And I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Kenneth, representing. So, like I say, you know, try to do some things, man. We're going to try a couple of new looks, man. We're getting into the sauce. We're getting back into the flavor, so we're going, you know, it's football season. So, you know what I mean? Like I say, we gotta do some things, man. And so I'm gonna be working on a couple of different looks, and we'll see what's really shaking. We'll see what's really going down. And again, you know, like I say, we got to make sure we stir up flavor. We're planning on doing it big this year. But the biggest name to me on the PUP list again is Deontay Foreman. And the reason why I say this is because Deontay was already a contributor. You know, and you know Hal was a contributor, but we know Hal's situation, and it's a different situation. Martin Gunkel, German Houston Texans fan group already. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you. That's a new name. Welcome to Sauce
Yeah, that's
Nation,
what's
man.
Up, man.
Man, definitely.
Welcome from Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. We got love from Germany. What side do I think that Rankin will play on? Rankin most likely, I believe, will right side, but I'm not big on ranking. I mean, I told y'all that from day one. I hope he proves me wrong, but you know, we'll get there. Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? Okay, we got a couple folks. Slide Footballer 503, what's the motherfucking deal? Like I said, we shouted out Martin. Good to see you. That's a new name. Always good to see new names in the sauce, man. Danny, the 16-0. Look for the 16-0 video after the Know Your Texan series, and it's coming up. I was a little bit late today, so I didn't really get it done like I needed to. But the Know Your Texans is being worked on, so it's in progress.
No.
And then you know what I'm saying? So the good things are coming, man. Good things are coming. I get excited around football season, so I'm going to be putting in some extra work to make sure that we can enjoy it so that we can spill a lot of sauce with y'all. But here's the thing, man. No, we're not going to. We're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do the Know Your Texans a little bit different. I'm not going to do 90-something videos again this year. Look, I've already done, between the sauce and the Kush Den, it's already been like 800 videos or so, something crazy, like a crazy number. So you know, we will get it all figured out. Like I was looking at the other day, I was like, good grief, I've done that much. So I don't think we go. Boy, got over 40 million songs. God damn. But again, and shout out to Mrs. Voodoo C and Voodoo C, man. Like I say, the world's greatest moderator couple in existence. So I really appreciate y'all every night holding it down. And Jay Dizzle, I got love for Jay Dizzle too.
Over 40 million sauce. Come at me.
Robot voice chat sounded a little suspect on that one. But again, what's up, Texan boy? What's up, Nathan King? Oscar Federico, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see y'all. But talking about Deontay Foreman and why I feel like he's the most important guy on that PUP list is because he was already a contributor. We saw what he was able to bring, and we saw that he was developing into a very talented guy. You know what I mean? And we saw that Arizona game that he had a couple of touchdowns. He made some big plays, and we were liking what we were seeing. And we were saying, okay, man, we might have our running back of the future. We may have the next Foster. We may have us another Ben Tate while he was good before he just – how did Ben Tate just fall completely off the map?
He went to Cleveland. Went to Cleveland.
But he kind of started – he started off here with the ankle injury. And his contract was up here before he left, right? Or did he?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
And then yeah. So he tried to get paid, and I think he fooled around and went to Cleveland, and it fell off. Yeah, Cleveland is where your careers go to die. But I'm concerned about it. Yeah, I do think that say Kevin Johnson on D-Hop's Live, and that boy looks skinny. Yeah, that's on him. Elijah Doyle says, "Do you think the injury gonna hold it back?" I think initially, I'm not looking to see Foreman until a couple of weeks into the season, honestly. And like I say, I'm hoping that they give him time to rest. I'm hoping that they give him time to heal up. And again, if you're new to this, we have the sauce line, and you can always text into the sauce line throughout the show. But excuse me, good grief. You know, I ate some Papa John's before I don't care what y'all say. Fuck what y'all talking about. If I still fuck with Papa John's, I ate some Papa John's before the show, so I might be burping just a little bit. But again, you can always text the sauce line with your thoughts, and I'll be more than happy to read them live. And when we open the sauce line up for calls, then you can definitely call in and spill your sauce on your own. Papa John, look, he could be a racist. I can't lie. I think the lady was surprised that a black person opened the door. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm delivering pizza. You guys are still ordering Papa John's? What's going on?" I thought you guys were canceled the Papa John's. I'm like, shit, I need that garlic stuff in my life. But anyway, my thing is, though, Ben Tate, I don't want to say he's going to be Ben Tate. I hope he becomes more consistent than Ben Tate. But Deontay Foreman, I think, can be the future. I think Lamar Miller is a serviceable back if he's used in the right fashion, and we've discussed this time and time again. But that's kind of out of his hands. The play caller is on B.O.B. But I think that, of course, when he gets back with the Watson connection, we saw him and Watson do some things, and you saw that Miller was an excellent receiving back. So my thing is, I'm comfortable with Miller and most likely Blue backing him up. I don't like seeing a whole lot of Alfred Blue. Because Blue is a guy that, it just takes a little bit of time to get that corner, to get his motor running, you know what I'm saying? But once he does get going, Blue will punish you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he is
he
a
will.
big dude. So he's not again. So he's also an asset on the special teams. So that's why I like Blue. I mean, that's not. I have no problem with Blue. I'm just not a big fan of Blue being a starting running back.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing, like you said, too, a bigger back like Deontay Foreman can bang, and he can do a little bit of everything. The thing is, for him to be such a big guy or a bigger running back. The dude is smooth. He runs real fluid. He has nice feet. I mean, he can shake you. He's got some juice. He got some nice speed on him. And he was showing that he had a little bit of hands out the backfield also. So he was showing that he could catch a little bit too. So, again, an asset. I think
he can definitely pass block.
Oh, yeah. And so he's definitely an asset. We need to trade for Bell. We need to win now. We need to bolster that O-line before we get to want to do too much more than what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
But again, we saw Jermaine Kelly, which was one of the young corners, and I don't think he was really fighting for contention. Martinez Rankin, another guy on the list, and the reason why he's an important guy on the P.U.P list is because he was a draft pick of one of the third rounds that we had this year. Again, but I've told y'all from the beginning, I think we would agree, man, I'm not really big on the guy as far as the tackle. Maybe if you're moving him interior, he can be an asset. But to me, just from what I saw of him in college, he didn't seem to have the greatest feet. He didn't just seem to be a very good tackle. So, again, with him not being able to get reps, with him breaking his foot, I think in minicamp, what was it, rookie minicamp, or was it the OTAs?
I want to say it was probably OTAs.
Okay. So, like I say, so then again, really not getting a chance to get the reps against, with the veterans to see what's really going on, to really, get a chance to work on some of those techniques and some of those things like that. I think it's going to be an issue with him. And like I said, I don't expect to really see a lot out of him, honestly. It'll probably be, again, he might be a mid-season situation also, in my opinion, just because I'm saying I think he just needs to tweak that technique, and him not having the chance to capitalize on and focus, when it's not live action, again, by the time he gets back during the season, to work on those things, I think is going to be a problem for him. So we'll have to see. You say 40,000 miles on a BMW, hell no. Oh, man. And then Javonte Robinson, he was a guy they brought in late last year, kind of like a project guy. I want to say he was like a Jamaican basketball player, something like that. And they kind of brought him in to see what he could do, to kind of see if he could possibly be an asset. You know what I'm saying? Broke foot is off, so we come back to it was a rookie. Okay, it was a rookie minicamp. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing. Again, we were talking about footwork, and you can't work your feet.
Right.
It's a bad business. Got a couple of texts in on the Sauce line. And when it says week 5, Cowboys versus Texans, let's bet 1 billion sauce on it. By the way, Zach, we got it. That's a bet. I'll empty the sauce bank on the Texans versus the Cowboys, man. I'm telling you, we got that. I ain't even worried about that one. Well, shout out to Zach. Even though he a boys fan, he still holding down the sauce, so it's much love. What's up, man? Chandler, you already know Chandler is Mr. Sauce Line. It's always good to hear from Chandler. Shout out to Honcho and Wink. How's everyone doing? I got a question for Mr. Wink. He says, I think we're going to have a good season. I think so, too. I would agree with that.
I think so, too. I'm in agreement.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Chandler, man. I always appreciate Chandler, utilizing the Sauce Line. When everybody else be acting like they're afraid to call. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying? We know Chandler going to come through. So here's the deal. Again, that's the situation with the Publix. And we can talk about how, and I think they put him on the non-football injury list, and that's kind of beneficial for him, so he can still get paid with his situation, because it was unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But again, I think with having a guy like DQ around, and being here in the city of Houston where you get the best treatment in the world, I feel like it shouldn't be a big issue, and he should bounce back relatively quickly. I don't know if it'll be this season. It may take a little bit, but I think that he'll be all right. I definitely think that he'll be all right. Said, do we need to get to the AFC Championship game for this season to be a success? I feel like anything shorter than that is a failure.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
I want to say that, but I'll give you this. I told y'all if it's less than double digits, I'm probably done with B.O.B. Because y'all know I've been a B.O.B. supporter. I'm not saying he's great. I'm saying he's in the good to serviceable range. He makes some boneheaded mistakes, but everybody does. But now he has, because to me, he had nothing but kind of trash tools beforehand. And here, let me just fix that. He's kind of had trash tools before, and we've seen the shitty quarterbacks that he's played with. And again, that's no excuse because he's agreed. He signed on for some of these guys, and
He damn sure did.
so I can't put all that on him. But hold on. But and let's do it like this. But my thing is, I think that if we get, I say, double-digit wins and get past that, making it to the AFC Championship, I don't know about winning it, but yeah, I would have to probably say, yeah, we have to get to the AFC Championship. Now thinking about it, yeah, we have to get to the AFC Championship. I would probably have to agree with you. I heard that. I mean, really thinking about it, I would have to agree with you with everything that we have. But again, my big hindrance is that offensive line, and I just get worried. Oh, well, let me learn how to spell success. I get worried. I feel like that's going to be the thing that's going to end up fucking us over. With all the pieces, everything being what it is, I feel like eventually, Deshaun Watson can only do so much as making that line look good. Let's hope that Brian Gaine is smarter than all of the rest of us. Let's hope that he just knows some shit that we don't, and he went and got some guys that, will somehow mesh together. And I mean, we'll be able to protect Watson, because if you can put a wall around Watson, and I'm not worried about anything,
Oh no, not at all.
Okay. So let me see. You say, you say, Donald Penn might get released if the rookie pickup shows up. We might get okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Donald Penn was out there fighting with people in the street last season, fighting fans and shit, tripping with himself. But that would be something to entertain. I mean, a veteran. Again, there's a couple other free agents I want to talk about here shortly too, that are possibly available. But again, success for the Texans, man. We have to see. Again, I think the AFC South is going to be a contest between the Jags and the Texans. I don't think the Titans are in the conversation. Luck, welcome back, Luck. But I don't think Luck is in the conversation. And I agree with you on that one, Martin, because my thing that I preach big about offensive line is that there has to be consistency. You have to have familiarity with the guy to your left, the guy to your right, and not having that, especially with all these guys kind of being new. The only constant is Martin.
Right.
And of course, Davenport got a little bit of shine last year, but not, to me, not enough to just say that he's a veteran presence.
No.
I really think that that offensive unit is going to struggle, at least early on. They may find a way to mesh later on. Again, Deshaun Watson has a way of making these guys look better than what they may be. Because, I mean, we saw what the difference between Watson and Savage and Heineke and Gates and whomever else last year. There was a significant difference from what Watson did to the rest of those guys. So I definitely have some concerns about that. I mean, if we're going to be honest, if we're going to be honest about it, I definitely have some concerns about that. Channel says, I got a question for you, Honcho. So, do you see Brett Hundley getting released by the Packers? I think we can pick him up as backup. I don't know if he's going to get released, but I don't think I have that much interest in him. Again, Brett Hundley was supposed to be the man, if I'm not mistaken, when he was getting drafted. I'm not. What round did Hundley come out of?
I don't quite remember. I want to say it was between the second and third round, something of that nature.
Okay, because I think there was some high hopes for Hundley, if I wasn't mistaken.
Yeah, he was looked at to be a decent quarterback.
Okay, but like I said, I don't know. But yeah, but then being behind Rodgers, it is what it is.
Right.
Oh, Vince went to the Hawks. Oh, that's awful. He trying to convince Carmelo to stay. But my thing is, again, speaking of a couple of things, we talk Rockets for a hot second. Even though this is we in Texan season, so y'all already know what it is. They did sign Hartenstein, and that was that was something I definitely predicted, because I'm telling you that the Hartenstein kid is going to be nice. He's definitely going to be nice. So I don't know what the contract terms were for that. The Daniel House kid that was on the summer league team ended up going to Golden State, unfortunately, and he was balling out. So that definitely is going to be an issue. XOJ, what's the motherfucking deal? So that's definitely something that we want to concern. This is a question I've seen a couple of people talk about. Shout out to Wise, and if y'all haven't checked out Wise Citizen, check out Wise Citizen Sports. He just dropped a video you need to check out. It says, should we bring Bashaud Breeland in at corner because our depth on the outside cornerback position is weak? If a guy like KJ or JJ goes down, who do we have to replace him? Kareem Jackson is done at corner and will now be a full-time safety. Shout out to Wink and the round table and everybody in South. Appreciate that, Wise. And I agree with you. That's something I was thinking about too. But I do say that I was kind of negating Johnson, Betamosi. I kind of was just overlooking him, but I said the other day I went back and saw a little bit of film on him, and I think that he could be a serviceable, if not challenge for a spot, because there were points in time if he can show some consistency and play similar to how he did while he was in Detroit for a little while. I mean, he had a little success against Hop. He had some success against some other very good, exactly, Mike B. He had some success against some very good receivers. And so my thing is, if he can show consistency on that level, he's a guy you almost may want starting. Now, it depends on what Kevin Johnson does, because we talk about there were points in time where Kevin Johnson looked decent. We know who it was under, Romeo Crennel. Romeo Crennel is back. And so now it's going to be man, I appreciate that, Martin. I appreciate the love, man.
That's too much sauce.
Your vids are great. Hope the support helps. Go Texans.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you to Martin Gunkel. I hope I'm saying your name right. And like I say, if you feel like it's a new name, so I definitely appreciate that love. But yes, everything goes a long way, so everything is appreciated. But we definitely, like I say, you definitely have to give Johnson his respect. Like, I was overlooking him. I was looking at him. Oh, he's a special teams guy. You know, it is what it is. The dude can play some ball. He can play some corner. So I think they may have found a diamond in the rough, if you will. Breeland ended up signing with the Chiefs. Ain't that a bitch? What's up, Clarence? I don't agree with your number 2, but it's always good to see Clarence on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Daniel House went to Golden State. So my thing is this, man. My thing is yeah, I saw that where he shut down. He had with Julio, and it was somebody else he got with. It was nice. Hold on, what that? We tapped out over there. We done lost some audio. But again, man, my thing is this: we are a little thin, especially with Kelly. I don't know what Kelly's injury is, and again, he was what, a 7th round guy, and so I'm not too concerned about what he was going to contribute right away. See, I'm a Nuggets fan now. But I think with Betamosi, with Colvin, with Johnson, with J-Joe, you kind of do get worried outside of Jonathan Joseph. I know a lot of people have said Jonathan Joseph age is a factor in their opinion. I know some people have said, you know, the history of Kevin Johnson. I hate when it does that. I'm still okay. Hold on, let me know. I think okay, are we back in action? We might have went out for just a second. Yeah, I think.
We good.
Okay,
yeah, we good.
Okay, I apologize for that. Y'all, you know, I get Comcasted from time to time. What's up, T-Real? They have to pay respect to Comcast. You know how it goes. I mean, Comcast must be some they definitely some Cowboys fans or some Jags fans or something, man. Because they every time we get to talking a little bit of shit, we ain't even got to talking good shit yet. They start fucking with your boy. We got to figure that out though. I'm somehow, some way, we're gonna get that taken care of before it's all said and done, because we can't have that happen to us during the season. So we're gonna get that taken care of. But where was I at? Damn it, I lost my track. Oh, we were talking about the cornerback situation, though. Mm-hmm. And like I say, you know, with the corners that the Texans have, you can find faults in all of them. But, again, J-Joe, I think he's going to be all right. Again, a lot of people have said that, you know, the thing is with him is, again, the age. We saw him kind of get dusted a time or two last year. But the only thing that you really worry about J-Joe, J-Joe only really gets beat by
T.Y. Hilton,
like T.Y., but it usually is generally,
and that hasn't even been consistent lately.
Like but the biggest issue with J-Joe don't really get snagged. I mean, you just have to be a much taller receiver and just get it at a point where he just can. Anything other than that, I'm not worried about. Like, it's a couple of receivers that can high point J-Joe, but I'm not really worried about too much.
Honestly, big receivers don't give J-Joe problems at all. If we being real, like honestly, he has excelled at playing against the bigger receivers in the league. When we played Julio a couple of years ago, Julio had like one catch. He negated him. Even though we got blown out in that game, he only held Julio to like one catch the whole game. He had less than 20 yards that game. We're not even going to talk about what he does to A.J. Green every time he sees him. We're not going to talk about, when we played Mike Evans, he didn't do anything like that to Mike Evans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of guys out here that J.J. has been contending with, and because of deficiencies, what y'all don't realize is the secondary was lacking communication last year. People did not know their assignments because they weren't talking to each other the way that they should have. And like I said, trust was why we were losing games. When you don't have trust, you can't win, you can't communicate. When you got them type of issues, how do you expect to win? And then you had abysmal coaching on top of poor quarterback play, and they couldn't maintain the ball, and your fucking defense was on the field for like 30, 40 minutes at a time. How do you expect to win like that? And anybody that is getting older will end up looking old when they play. And when you really think about it, outside of that first game we played against the Colts, J.J. wasn't getting abused like that. J.J. even in a down year last year was not even really getting abused like that. You saw it. You saw Kevin Johnson getting abused. You saw Corey Moore getting abused. You definitely saw Kareem getting and Kevin Johnson getting abused.
Man.
I mean, so it is what it is.
I don't even want to talk about Corey Moore right now.
Like
Honey was drafted in the fifth round. Okay, I don't know why I thought he was early. I might be thinking of who am I thinking of?
Who you talking about?
Because he said Brett Hundley was drafted in the fifth round. Who am I thinking?
The fifth round, something like that. Yeah, fourth or fifth round.
I'm thinking of somebody else. Somebody else then. Okay, so my fault on that. Okay. Yeah, I heard Ariza that came out and said, y'all talking about Ariza in the State Farm. I heard Ariza come out and say something about he was frustrated with the star treatment. And that's something I mentioned. I told a lot of people that, man. I say, when they were talking about going and getting guys, all the guys they were going and talking about getting played Ariza's position. And so, again, these guys have egos. These guys have, they have fucking personality. They have lives too. I mean, they have a conscience too, and you sit here saying, oh, we're going to get Paul George or we're going to go get LeBron. And we're like, shit, buddy, I know I went over 12, but I was solid for the rest of the season, So, that's something I definitely felt was a factor. But, it is what it is. He already made his decision. And, you can't complain about that. But again, I want to take a look at a couple of guys that are still available out there. And I kind of want to know, actually, I want to know your opinion, Wink. And, of course, Sauce Nation, man, any conversation we have, and you are the freshest motherfucking ingredients. Y'all are a part of this conversation, so I know and I love to hear what y'all think. That's funny that Jeremy Lane is actually available. But you got a couple of guys.
Again?
Yeah, you got a couple. Again? You got a couple of folks that's still out there.
Stay available.
Oh, and
he can never go on the second date.
No,
he is so trash. Like, why is he so trash, bro? Like, he got handles. Don't give me that. He can pass the ball. He's actually a decent shooter. I think with him, it's a culture shock for him playing with the guys he has to play against because he knows he's not physically dominant. He knows he's not really faster. He knows he doesn't have enough in his arsenal to be elite. But I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot of foreigners play scared when they get here to the States.
Oh, man. One of the guys I was just about to talk about, I didn't mean to cut you off. One of the people I was just about to talk about football free agents, Trey Boston, just got picked up by the Cardinals. Damn. I was just about
took long enough.
Yeah, he was about to be about the third person I was going to mention on this fucking list, and he motherfucking me just got picked up by the Cardinals. But yeah, that's wow. I wonder what that contract was like. I think he got a 1-year deal, but yeah, awful, man, awful. Oh,
there's a lot of dudes getting 1 year. Like the reason that the fact that Vaccaro and Reed on sign is still like people need safeties around the league. The Cowboys need safeties. Why in the hell are y'all not like teams like the Cowboys? If we being real, the Titans could have used Eric Reed's services. Yeah. Because who do they have to pair up with Kevin Byard? Nobody. And at the end of the day, who's scared of they secondary? Nobody. Nobody.
You can bring in all them other names that we didn't ate on.
Yeah, we're not worried about them.
But like I said, a couple of other interesting names. Well, since Trey Boston is out of the conversation, a couple of other interesting names. Dez is still out there.
Yes, he is.
Would you still entertain
Absolutely.
bringing in Dez?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another big body target like that on the outside, and you definitely get to find a home spot. But it's not like if Fuller was to play slot, like he's always going to play slot. But like him in the slot, going up seams, him because he can run every route. People like to make it seem like all he can run is posts, slants, goals. Now, man, I done seen this man run double moves. I done seen this man run corner routes. I done seen this man do fucking out. I done seen this man do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But he's not gonna get no credit for it because that's what happens when you have national media warping the brains of fan bases. Like you still got people in comment sections talking about Deshaun Watson is a pocket is a mobile quarterback when all of his numbers have proven that he's much better inside the pocket than he is outside of it. So it's absolutely ridiculous that because a quarterback can run when needed, is he's subjugated to one specific title, and it's absolutely ridiculous to me. But you know, it is what it is.
You know, but people see certain, like I say again, most people really don't do the analysis. We just saw something we was talking about the other day where old buddy was talking about Rankin gonna be the starting tackle, not realizing he hurt, and talking about Andre Howell
exactly
gonna be a benefit, not knowing that he has cancer. So a lot of people just be really running their mouth just to be saying some shit and not really doing the research.
They really don't.
But yeah, talking about a couple of interesting free agents. Now I know a lot of people like Coach for that same idea. Big guy, fast guy, a little bit younger. I think he's about what his dad's like 6'2", 6'3"?
6'2".
6'2", and then so Coach about the same, like 6'3", I think, something like that. And so, I mean, I know a lot of people like him for that fact, and I know a lot of people are picking Coach to probably make, if we carry 6, that they believe that Coach will be a guy that we benefit from. Now you had mentioned Eric Reed, and his services could definitely be used. Now here's a name that I know at one time was one of the better backers in the league, Navarro Bowman. How would you feel about a guy like that?
Navarro Bowman is with I forgot who he's playing for.
He ended up getting picked up?
Yeah, Navarro Bowman. I never remembered him going to free agency.
Yeah, I thought they said the lady got him. The last team he was with was with
Nah, he's with the Raiders.
He's still with the Raiders?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's still with the Raiders. I mean, having a veteran presence would have been cool, but Navarro Bowman can't do shit for this football team.
Yeah, we had
he can't do shit for us.
The text line is open. We had a sauce line open in about 5 minutes. When we usually get about 40 minutes in, we open up the sauce line. So about 5 more minutes, we'll have the sauce line in. But if you want to text in, I'll definitely take your comments. Okay. Well, then, and man, we're gonna talk about the Raiders in a second because we get a little bit more free for all at the end. There's a couple other external teams I want to talk about. Just some interesting things going on with them. But we gonna get on that. I know last year a lot of people were excited about this name. I was never really big on it. Eric Decker is a free agent. And how would you feel about Decker?
Not impressed. He doesn't have enough speed. Great route runner. Great off of the press, and he has good hands, good reliable hands. But he's past his prime. He won't do any team any good right now. I mean, he just came from a team like the Jets, but I'm not impressed with him. A guy like Dez Bryant is the type of talent that we would need if you wanted to bolster the receiving core. But it seems like it's pretty decent enough, and I just don't see anybody wanting to get Dez Bryant at this point in time because he would have been signed. Now, if they just wanted to wait until training camp when injuries happen, he should be the first one called. But I guarantee you he'll get overlooked, you know what I'm saying, because Jerry Jones and these guys at the Cowboys, they ruined his name, and it's unfortunate.
Okay, man. What's up, Steve J? They talking about bringing Foster back. if only. But Foster posted some shit the other day.
Who's Zachariah? Man, Zachariah up in here talking mad shit.
No, Zach, he a Cowboys fan. We got a bet going on. But he
we don't have it, and actually, it's a Cowboys fan who did his due diligence on Dez. You probably know him, McCoy Media. If you haven't found him, go search him on what's it called. And trust me, nothing wrong with Dez Bryant. Dak Prescott was the problem, and we don't even need to get into it. Just go search the video yourself.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Martin. Like I say, to me, in my opinion, I don't really feel like we need. I think we got a nice young core of receivers, but I'm like, and they're going over some big names that are still out there that I've heard people mention, and just like I said, getting y'all's opinion on it, getting what people think. We're talking about corners and available corners. DRC is still out there. Dominic.
Yes, he is.
Would you take a flyer on Cromartie?
I sure the hell would.
Okay. Like I say, I mean, that's a guy in a position that I feel like we could see. We just talked about some depth in that position. Would definitely be interesting to see. A name.
He definitely would take Kevin Johnson's spot.
Okay. Here's a name, and then we're gonna talk about some other stuff here. Inside linebacker that's still available. Brian Cushion is still out there. What do you think happens with Brian Cushion when it's all said and done?
He'll get picked up by somebody who's desperate, because it'll be an inside linebacker or somebody's gonna get on drugs, or somebody's gonna get suspended. That's gonna end for 4 to 6 weeks, where somebody's gonna have to come pick up the slack. And I think because of his time in the league, and he's played with defensive coordinators who have elaborate schemes, so I don't see him having a problem picking up any defense. He played for Wade Phillips and Romeo Cornell. No defense out here is going to be too complicated for him whatsoever.
Okay. And now you mentioned too about Dez. I actually heard that there was some talk between the Browns had some interest in Dez, not knowing what's going on with the Josh Gordon situation, because he's kind of has an issue that's kind of undisclosed. I don't know if it's it's in pertaining to his drug rehab and stuff like that, but it's not like he's being punished by the league or anything. But right now he said he's going to be sitting out for a while. So
he got drug problems?
Who, Josh Gordon?
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah. He's just making sure that he keeping his mental health and all of that little shit up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No issues from him. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely gonna be there for the start of everything when it all pops off. Yeah. I saw that a few days ago. Yeah,
and I agree that the Browns. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be solid, but I believe that the Browns will. The
Browns gonna be nice.
Yeah.
The Browns, I honestly had them finishing second in the unless the Baltimore Ravens come up and they do something extremely amazing, which I don't think they're really going to be far off. But I think the Browns and the Ravens are going to be battling hard for their number 2 spot, and people not going to be walking and running over the Browns this year. They actually got a team. They actually got a quarterback. They have 2 quarterbacks they can fall back on but Tyron is going to be the safer player. He's going to be able to put the ball down the field, and he's never had these type of weapons before. He got tight ends, he got running backs galore, and he got so many options at receiver that I wouldn't be surprised if they like 3-2, in the first 5 weeks. Or hell, they could end up being 4-1. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how favorable their schedule is. And they play teams hard, even when they do suck. Like teams in the division, they were playing them hard, So, I mean, they have a different type of culture. If they could get a few more pieces on their defense, they'd be locked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? But just another draft or 2 and another offseason. Probably by next year, they'll be what the Texans were in like 2011, 2012.
Okay. All right. Now, a couple of interesting things, and then we're going to open up the sauce line. I want to talk about around the league. You got a couple of holdouts happening.
Right.
Guys that we've talked about in the same category as Clowney. Now,
right.
We haven't heard of any such thing happening with Clowney. He hasn't had his contract done. But
yeah, Clowney actually even came out recently and just said like he's gonna report. He coming to camp. Well, he's already at the Greenbrier, so I mean, so that's good. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the contracts and all of this little shit, that's cool. But I don't want Brian Gaine to be playing no games, and it already seems like he already is. Especially from that little info I saw y'all put with the tweet in the chat, and that we don't, nigga, you just got here. Like, you don't have no policy. You don't have nothing. Nigga, Rick Smith had a policy. And at the end of the day, if you're trying to get away from what Rick Smith was doing, why are you sitting here talking about policies that he had here when he was here during his tenure? Yeah. But people saying that this shit is so much different and Brian Gaine is a better GM when he's doing the exact same shit that the last GM did. So it's absolutely ridiculous, man.
Man, that's great. You said the cats from 610 Sports got us going 7. Man, that's what I say. I really start tuning out from 610 from every. But like, man, it gets harder and harder. The more sauce that we stir up every night, dog, it just gets harder and harder for me to listen to other outlets, other radio outlets at least. You know what I mean? But you got
Mike B. They're nowhere near as objective as we are.
Yeah.
They don't give any proper criticism to those who deserve it. And when they do, they always go back into the nice guy room. Well, he's still so nice, and he's this and he's that, and dudes really be on some real homoerotic type shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't understand, man. These dudes, bro, they really are not good for the city of Houston. And I'd be glad when the old heads, because it's mostly old people that talk to them. We talking about a range. I'm not old, but typically between like 30, you can tell like they shit is between 30 and 65 or older. Yeah. They're not really drawing in a younger, mid, like 27 and 28. I mean, yeah, of course they have some fans here and there, but they don't really have a fan base that really pertains to the younger generation. They're old. They talk old. They can't relate to all groups of people. So why are you on the radio?
Exactly. They definitely have their particular demographic, and obviously I'm not in it because that's just like I said. Every time I listen to it, I lose interest. It's just like, really, other than breaking news, I have nothing for them.
Meanwhile, Soft Sports, myself, and other dudes, we getting watched in the Netherlands, Germany, Mexico, Korea, fucking man. When I go look at my analytics, people watching me in Kuwait, the UK. You know what I'm saying? Like South America, you know what I'm saying? So we stretching people across the world. They're not doing that from their radio show in Houston. So it's so easy for them to try to shit on somebody because they have a public platform and they have a time slot in the morning, and people, if they're going to listen to a sports show, they honestly have no choice but to listen to you if they don't want to listen to if they don't have XM radio, because a lot of people are not paying for XM radio, and a lot of people, generally listen to their own local sports radio station when they do listen to sports. So you're really stuck with what you have available to you. Now, if you go ahead and you hook up your auxiliary cord, or you got YouTube or some shit like that in your car, man, look at fucking Ed Honcho, look at somebody from the round table. Exactly. You might get an earful. You might learn something. We talking about schemes. We talking about player fits. We talking about why the coaching and shit doesn't work. We talking about all of the shit that they don't, and they constantly repeat shit that people are saying on ESPN and Pro Football Focus, and it's ridiculous because they can't garner their own opinion and stand by it.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Now, you said something a second ago about Gaines, and that did piss me off when I saw that also. That now it was like a positive and a negative, and I want to talk about that for a second, because it was like it's like a pressure play almost that they try to do. We need to get it done now, or we're not going to get it done during the season because we don't operate during the season. It's almost like trying to put the players back up against the wall, like, well, if you really want this money, take this offer that's on the table for you, or otherwise,
right,
you're going to have to wait a year and hope you don't, you have to deal with that. But again, I want to be optimistic in the fact that he says, he wants to try to get Clowney's deal done during camp.
Right.
But then at the same time, talking about we don't do it during the season, hey, a player, well, again, that's his agent's job.
It's because I'm starting to think that's either a GM. That's either a GM policy or that's a Bob McNair policy. And at the end of the day, if it's about, he need to get the fuck off of his high horse and sign the fucking check, because we don't have no time to be playing with one of your top 3 players on defense.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I think there are some a lot of these policies, quote unquote policies. I think it's coming from the very top. Because it's just some constants that have been going on throughout all the GMs that have been in the Texans organization. And to me, like I say, my thing with Bob McNair, it is what it is. He says what he says. But how do you have this standard of you know, we don't take anybody with character issues. We don't take anybody who may have had a mistake in college or something. Well, you came out like in 3 or 4 weeks, made 3 or 4 goddamn mistakes yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that were very detrimental to the team more than anybody has ever.
Before the bye week, we were in shambles.
Yeah, and so that's my thing is like, how could you have that double standard for yourself, man? You come out, you make mistakes. I mean, the Texans need to change some things, and one of those things is trying to be. You know, we talk about this all the time with we're going to be good guys and we're going to be, you know, superheroes and all this other. Like, fuck that, man. Sometimes you got to get a motherfucker. You got to get some dogs. You got to get some killers on your motherfucking squad. That's why I proposed the question the other day when we were talking about Jerry Jones and
what did you see me say?
And Jerry got the overwhelming vote, and that's the funny thing about it.
Jerry gonna take risks. Jerry may be an asshole. Jerry may be an egotistical ass, you know, type of person. But at the end of the day, he gonna take risks on players that. Well, not always on players that are good. I mean, even though he does know how to find certain position groups, because he don't know what the fuck he's doing on defense. Yeah. But he's going to take chances on people, and the fact that not only that he markets his team. Why would what marketing? What team? What fucking players? And honestly, if he ran the Houston Texans, do you know how big this team would be if he was our GM?
Oh man, hold on 1 second. We got a call coming in on the sauce line here. Let's see who we got. We got a caller here. Let me get properly prepared.
And so, hey, man. So is every other fucking owner in the league. What else?
What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line?
What's up, man? It's Mike B.
What's up, Mike B? What's the motherfucking deal, man?
What's the motherfucking deal, man? Hey, I just wanted to say one thing real quick. I'm going to keep talking in the comments and everything, but I just wanted to talk about Aaron Colvin moving to outside because I seriously think that they can play in different ways, like if they put in dime packages or want to say nickel package, you can move Aaron Colvin outside and you can move Kareem back to nickel sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, I really think that Justin Reed will be the starting free safety for this team, and Tyrann Mathieu will be the starting strong safety. So I feel like another thing y'all was talking about the free agents, I really feel like we can get Eric Reed. Because if you look at Eric Reed is just like Eddie Pleasant. You know what I'm saying? He's a thumper. He's a guy who can do what Eddie Pleasant couldn't do. He can play coverage downhill and make those tackles on running backs and tight ends. So I just wanted to know what y'all guys think about that.
Okay. That's a bit, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. Hang up on you. We're going to talk about that.
Well,
already.
I appreciate Mike B calling in, man. That was a good question. Yeah. But to address what he has to say, of course, sometimes he's going to end up playing outside anyway. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I really want him in a situation where he's covering the best tight ends. I don't want Kevin Johnson on the inside where he has to cover faster dudes in the slot and when he has to cover tight ends. It's clear he has a problem with getting his head turned around. He has mechanic issues and he's over aggressive. And he gets big penalties on the outside at the wrong time in games. I do not want. I want Colvin really in a safer spot. Now I know he's pretty much going to end up playing outside sometimes, you know, because that's just the way certain schemes are going to go. But we're going to see who proves their worth when training camp gets here. How you feel about it, Honcho?
But I'll tell you this, and I'm going to agree with what David Pritchard said to an extent. If I see Colvin on the outside, I know it's the best thing shaking because I have confidence in what Cornell is going to do, and I have confidence in Cornell's vision. You know, I've noticed a lot of people saying, "Oh, you know, Colvin, he's not an outside guy. He's trash. You know, he's came here because he wants the potential to do so, to see that he can do that." I'm all about giving him a shot, but I feel like, you know, Cornell is going to put the best pieces in the best place. So if he beats out KJ, I just don't. Because we were talking about that the other day. Like I said, I don't know if either one of them at this point, even though he's an older guy, I don't know if either one of them beats out J-Joe for the number one spot because of the consistency you're going to get from Joseph. If he ends up beating out Kevin Johnson to play outside, then, you know, if it's Cornell's vision, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical for a lot of the same reasons you say. But if it's Cornell's vision, he sees it. Trust me, he's much smarter than I am, and so I definitely know it's the right place for him to be. But he mentioned Reed and getting Reed's brother, and again, we know why Eric Reed isn't signed to a team, and that's unfortunate because it's not like he's not a talented player,
right?
But I think that would be something I would definitely love to see. Now he might have to put his brother on the back burner a little bit. His brother might have to wait a little bit more time to play if we end up picking him up. But I'm not opposed to that. I wouldn't mind.
I'm not either. I don't think any fan is, because we could play like big dime situations. Like it's so many. If you have him, I'm pretty sure he has enough. He has enough skills to where he could come and play down in a dime situation. You know what I'm saying? Like. You have guys like that can play dime linebacker, and that's just extra coverage that we have on the field. And it's a certain amount of speed that teams won't be able to contend with. Because we could say a lot of things about what the team isn't yet. One thing we do know is that they're a fast defense. So the thing is now, how will they be able to translate that with the mentality that they play with on the field? Like, they have to just be more fast-paced, and I think that's why Romeo Crennel being in DC was the most viable option that could have happened, because he's going to make sure that they slow the game down, that they know what they're doing. He's going to make sure that the coaches that they have in place are going to know what they're doing. He's going to make sure that the team is held accountable, and he's always going to put you in the best position to play what you know you can play, and you get to play freely. So that's what we need.
Man, now you said something pretty interesting there. You said something pretty interesting about him and having the coaches doing the right thing, and we talked about a couple of weeks ago Anthony Midget, and
right.
He was an assistant, and they ended up moving him up, so he has some familiarity with the guy. So it's not like they're bringing somebody completely new in.
Right.
Do you feel like he's gonna? I mean, him and plus the combination of Crennel, but do you feel like he's gonna be a benefit? Kind of get this
maybe
secondary back in shape.
In time, because he can. We've already seen what he's done with the D line. These are some of the best years that, other than when Bill Kolar was here, with Wade Phillips when he was coaching the D line. This is some of the best D linemen play that we've had. It seemed like the first 2 years shit wasn't really working out. They would always start out real slow for the first half of the season in terms of run defense, and then they would be locked down after the bye week.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, we have not had that problem. The guys that they were able to bring in, they plugged in, they've been able to stuff the run. And honestly, stuffing the run is going to be even more paramount considering the type of running backs that we have to play this year. We got to play against fucking Zeke. We got to play against Fournette. He's not going to be that hard to stop because of the type of player that he is. Who the fuck else? We got Saquon Barkley. We got to play. We got to play against the Browns again, and they not no slouches. With Carlos Hyde and guys like that. You got dudes. It's a lot of team. I have to go down the list again and really go look at the list of running backs that we got to play. But we got a lot of running backs that we got to play, and we got to have the right personnel in to make sure that we negate that attack. Because if you can't do that, I honestly believe this will end up being one of the better pass defenses in the league, because Romeo Crennel knows what to do with a secondary, and the communication is going to be far better. So how can you really have any breakdown issues? If anything, it's only going to be a speed issue.
Exactly. Now, there's something thing that there's a couple of texts coming in the sauce line. We're going to address those. And Joe Heath ain't just bad. He's not bad. So I don't think the thing is, he says he hasn't done much. Said I would rather have Covington D in opposite of Watts. He appears to get better every year. I might agree with you on that, but Heath isn't bad. Heath is a serviceable player. Another point I wanted to make, we were talking about the coaching and things, and again, there's an excuse that a lot of the Titans fans were making from last year. They just try to overlook it, and then they try to use our excuses. Like when we talked about our injuries, that second game, oh no, y'all just making excuses. But then when it came to Vrabel and we talked about those injuries, that was a validation for them. Well, the only reason he did so bad is because you guys were hurt. No, look, you can't have it both ways. You can't, feel like you really beat us and then say the only reason he did so bad because he gave up the most points in the league last year.
Right.
And people are happy to have him over at Tennessee.
Right.
Just briefly, how do you feel? And my thing is though, but he's not going to be necessarily. Again, to me, he's a glorified hype man. Because
let me expand on that answer. And they not happy about Mike Vrabel. They're happy about the damn dude that they got from the Rams. That's who they happy about. They happy with the fact that Mike Vrabel is going to have nothing to do with the offense. So the same guy that made sure that the fucking Rams were number one in offense, which they don't have even the same similar type of team. You don't have the same quarterback because Mariota makes dumbass decisions, and he's been in the league long enough. In 3 years, you always gonna show what type of quarterback you really are. And I'm saying, going into his fourth season, we already know who Mariota is. So why are we still making excuses for him? Well, why are the Titans fans still making excuses for him when he's only had one good season to date? But I digress on that point. So I don't see what else you really think he's going to be able to do when it comes to, what's his philosophy? Because he still has to implement a philosophy for the offense and defense. And if you have no identity, how in the fuck do you think the team is going to know what to do and continue to win games? But it is. They'll figure it out.
His philosophy is to yell a lot, cuss a lot, and get drunk. Get to these questions on the Sauce line real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up here shortly, but we're going to talk about a couple of things as far as what we're going to have coming up here in the future. Somebody texted in and said, with Melo on the floor, Harden and CP3 will have 4 options every play: ISO, jumper, lob, kick out to Melo. Oh, they're going to eat. That's why I say, like, all the rest of the national talking about if Melo comes to the Rockets, there are chances of winning the championship. Goes, if that ain't the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, that shit – I ain't even gonna get it. That shit angry. We talking Bailey text day, but we gonna address that real soon. Like I say, once Melo is official and the ink dries, we gonna definitely talk about some things with it. But I agree with you on that one. This one's from Chandler. Said, I got a question for Wink. Actually, it could be said first one. He was said, I think Deshaun Watson is going to beat Bill Belichick and Tom Brady at Foxborough this year. I'm very confident because the Patriots' O-line won't be the same, and also their defense coordinator is going to the Lions. Then he says, I got a question for Wink. Do you see the Texans heading into Foxborough with a win? Would that be a huge confidence for the Texans? Because if we did, the media would still be disrespecting us. And when we get Carmelo Anthony, the media still doesn't give us the respect.
In terms of that Patriots game, if we win that game, not only is the team, and honestly, I think we do it because once Deshaun Watson has you diagnosed, and this is one point that I'm really going to make into it because people going to sit here and say, oh, he had an ACL injury. For one, he had a clean tear with no ligament damage. I'm going to say it again. He had a clean tear with no ligament damage whatsoever. Meanwhile, dudes like Carson Wentz are recovering from a full ACL tear, where he tore his PCL, and I want to say he tore his MCL as well. So he's going to have a much harder recovery, than Deshaun Watson. That's number one. Number two, when he has played against you and he's diagnosed, and the fact that, for one, the defense that they have is nowhere near the same it was last year. Let's just get that straight. Their best corner is in success. So I think that'll be the best game if we win, that'll definitely be the best win of the season. Hands down.
Hold on a second. We got cut out a second. You were saying about the corners, and then
okay. I was saying, we weren't even really gonna worry about them because the best corners that the Patriots had on in our division now. I'm like, they don't really have any deep ball help. So who's their safety's gonna be? They're losing D linemen, and it's too many moving parts, and Patricia not being there is definitely going to hinder them in so many ways because I don't think they're going to be good in time to work out all the kinks early on like they usually do. Losing Brandon Cooks is definitely going to help us because who are you going to have to burn us deep now? Nobody. So, are you still there, Honcho?
Yeah,
still there?
Yeah, we're still there. We're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just making sure. I didn't know if it cut out again. Yeah, so, honestly, that's a huge confidence boost. And the fact that Deshaun Watson, when he plays against you once and he plays against you again, he's totally different the second time he gets to see you. Why? He's done this his whole career, and I believe he'll be able to do it again. And the fact that anybody saying, well, he tore his ACL and all this, if it's anybody saying that, for one, it was a clean tear. He went to Switzerland to get stem cell research to speed up his process. That's why he's been cleared. He's been football ready since February. And people are overlooking that and saying, well, how's his knee going to hold up? You'll see when he finishes the game, 16 games plus this season, because we will go to the playoffs and we will excel. And there's no telling how far we're going to go. I mean, I'm saying a success for us would be AFC Championship, but who's to say we don't make it past that if Deshaun Watson has the ball in his hands? And that's what I have to say about that situation.
Right. A text in on the Sauce line says, question for Wink. Any concerns with Rankin? He was listed on the PUP list today. And another says, some Rockets news. They signed Isaiah Hartenstein to a 3-year deal. Yeah, we talked about House going to the Warriors and Trayvon Duval. He went to the Milwaukee Bucks. House and Duval were very interesting prospects, but Hartenstein is somebody I've definitely been high on. But
right.
What are your concerns with Rankin with him being listed on the PUP list today?
Man, I told y'all he was trash from the get-go. He can't pull. He's better on the inside. He was never fit to be a tackle. He doesn't have the technique to play tackle. His footwork sucks. He hasn't been part of camp. Wait till next year. They need to go ahead and sit him on the shelf for next year. Let his body heal completely. Because why are you gonna sit here and try to rush this dude out here after coming from from being drafted in the 3rd round? Because we drafted him with an injury. So this shit ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? That's something that Brian Gaine brought in plenty of players that were hurt. You know what I'm saying? And he's expecting the world out of them. So I told y'all this dude wasn't really that good to begin with, but y'all will find out. I never believed in him, and I still don't believe in him. And now he's hurting. He can't even contribute to the football team. So now he's behind the 8 ball, and he's gonna have to try to learn a Bill O'Brien offense that's hard to learn, especially when it comes to O linemen.
Okay. Got another one here from August Dick Scout. Rising Phallus. Duck Scout. Sorry. Says, for both of you whores, does not having a true number 1 tight end concern you at all?
What'd you say now?
I said, he says, for both of you whores, does not having a true number 1 tight end concern you at all?
You do have a true number 1 tight end, Steven Anderson. What are we talking about? I mean, we already knew that. I knew the moment that Fedora was retired, he had to be the man. And the fact that, Akins, I haven't heard shit about him the whole offseason. You know what I'm saying? I know Pancakes tried to pump him up and say, well, this and that. Nigga, do you really believe something that this obese-ass nigga has to say when it comes to evaluating football talent, let alone a tight end? Come on, man. He needs to be slack with a ham hock. I don't even know what it is. You could just play pin the tail on the donkey with this motherfucker. He wouldn't know what he's talking about. He's absolutely an abysmal beat writer for
he got in a fight with a speed bump and lost.
I don't know, man. Oh my God, bro. Shit, I don't know. I don't know. He ain't no telling, what's up with this dude. He can't do anything but eat Buffalo Wild Wings and drink himself to death at night. And you just watch his fat ass gonna be out there sweating when they gotta come back to Houston for training camp. I know he dreading them days. Oh fuck, my fat ass is gotta go out here, man.
Last he was talking about he trying to find somebody to wipe his ass since he broke his shoulder. Can't even wipe his own ass. He said,
shit, man, ain't no telling when the last time he was able to lift his stomach up to see his own dick. Who knows, bro? Pause, but this dude, he's useless. He's useless to himself. He's useless to the radio station. He's useless to fans. He's useless to the players on the team who don't want to talk to him. He asks the stupidest fucking questions after game. He always is so concerned about how a man feels and his emotions. Bitch, we just lost the game. How the fuck you think I feel, you dumbass nigga? I don't know, bro. I don't fucking like John McClain, bro. Fuck McClain. I don't care if he hurt his shoulder. Good. That means he can't show up to camp and ask dumbass questions, and we can give Pat D Stat some more shine.
Man,
you know
Pat
what I'm
D
saying?
can't go to camp either, man. That's the one I'm more
I
concerned
saw
about.
that.
Everybody was saying, oh, McCain can't go. Man, I'm more concerned about Pat D Stat not going to camp. He's gonna he's gonna give it to you real. He ain't finna talk about the Oilers when we want to know about the Texans. That's why fucking what's his name? What's his name is more of a Oilers fucking writer or more of a Oilers commentator because he fly out to Tennessee and he on the Tennessee radio damn near more than he on the damn Houston radio. So
shit is absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, and he think he done some shit because he did a few cameos because he did a cameo in The Longest Yard. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Unless you were really knowing, like, you got to remind people you was in that movie because you weren't even noticeable from the get go. The only reason why I noticed, I was like, damn, that is his fat ass. Like, but he was like at least 200 pounds lighter then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he every bit of he gained at least 400. You know, from that time period. You know what I'm saying? He'll be on the 600-pound life before his life is over.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we
fuck with that Pat. Like Pat D Stat, like I said, his takes are legit. You know what I'm saying? There's no nonsense. He just give it to you straight. There ain't none of that bias. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that none of the shenanigans that a lot of these other guys put into it. So that's why I like to hear my news from, man. Like I say, it's very
him and Texas Cleaver know what they be talking about whenever he has them on every show. You know what I'm saying? But when the State of the Texas podcast, and we've been talking about it, I need to go on there and just see if he uploaded anything over the last few weeks or months, just so I can hear him. You know what I'm saying? Because he did a show a few months back. You know what I'm saying? Just to talk about shit that was going on, and you know the draft was getting ready to come up. So when the streaming shit is over, I'm gonna go on iTunes, or, you know, on the podcast and see if he did anything. Because if he did, man, I'm gonna listen. And when I find out some gems, you already gonna know, because he dropped gems months ago that that fans never knew.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I say, man. That's the one. So, like I say, he's back walking. That's good. That's good to know. I know he said he's still got a long way to recover, but that's good to hear. And man, yeah, I didn't catch the Honey Badger comments on Johnson, but I heard that Honey Badger was saying some good things about Johnson. If y'all caught that, drop that in the comment. I didn't hear exactly what he was.
I didn't either. I saw him saying like something like he a student of the game or some shit. You know, some generic ass, some shit that niggas try to say. You know, when you know he really trash, but he trying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I took it. I mean, I didn't even read the whole thing, but when I looked at it and when he said something, you know, he kind of like a student of the game, but he can't turn his head around in coverage. But how the fuck you a student of the game with no mechanics? So, like, you don't even have the fundamentals to even play the sport that you got hired to do. And they picked up a 5th-year option on this bum. Come on, bro. Man. Like, we'll see.
All right. And Wise, we're going to take this last comment from Wise, man, on the South line. He texted in and says, how many points per game is Melo averaging? I'll be honest with you. If he could average 16 and play with Russell, he could average at least 20 in the city, though. Like, he could average, because you have willing ball distribution out here. You know what I'm saying? Not a guy who's just chasing the stats. Who's like, well, once I got my 10. And so how Russell had one more win this year than he did the year before when he won MVP? Like, you went and you got Paul George and Carmelo. Even though Carmelo really ain't want to go there, he wanted to be in the city. He wanted to be in Houston. But I'm not tripping because we got it for cheap now. But you got one more win. You put 2 more stars around him. But people were trying to knock Oladipo and old Buddy. But then they go off to leave and have the best seasons of their careers. When you leave Russell Westbrook, you get better. I mean, like, if your career is dying and you want to revitalize, go play with Russell for a year, and then go somewhere else, and you'll be better than you ever have, man. Because it's so I could easily see Melo in the 20. I'm not gonna go too high. I ain't gonna say him 20, but I could see Melo in the 20 to 21 points a game range. You know what I'm saying? You say, man, I give him respect for that, man. Like I say, he's a very suspect dude, but I saw that you know he took time out from the game because he put his kids first. So I'll give Ramsey credit for that. But once it's on the field, it's fucking. You know what I'm saying? I respect anybody who's gonna be a good father and, you know, a family man and shit like that.
Absolutely.
But when it's on the field, it's fucking. You know. But yeah, so I give him that. I give him that clearance. That's all you get from me. Don't ask for no more. That's all he getting, goddamn. But yeah, I ain't even know he had a girl. I'm telling you, I really felt that he was suspect. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. The way he He be on the shit that
Yeah,
he
he too sassy for me.
Yeah, but then you see his
sassy.
pops.
He be rolling that neck like Bow Wow.
Man,
like,
but he was on that little interview with his pops. It wasn't none of that shit. Look, you tell his pops.
He looked like he looked like he said, "Child, please, girl."
Oh man, I'm telling you, that's it. Okay, at least we ain't tripping. You say he thought he was too. At least we ain't tripping, man. All right, what last one? I think I know the answer to this one. Then we gonna start rapping. We're gonna talk about a couple things. We're gonna wrap it up because I gotta get ready for the Kush there. But Texas says, "Wink, do you miss Rick Smith?"
I never wanted him to leave. I already gave mine. I could only imagine what he would have did in the draft with the guys that we had, especially in terms of secondary. What he would have did, and I think he would have definitely. He wouldn't have got them bum ass players that we got after Ejiofor. I mean, he probably would have took Kiki. You know what I'm saying? I think I honestly think that's a move he would have made, but I don't think he would have made it in the 4th round when old buddy did. But but we've been hearing about Kiki the whole time, and I never had a problem with Kiki. I just didn't like where he was picked, and I emphasize that, and I stand by that even to this day. But because I just felt like it was other shit we could have got. We could have definitely. If we were going to get a tight end, I know he takes Ian Thomas, Fumagalli, Mark Andrews, somebody of that nature. And it seemed like, honestly, that could have been our first pick. I wouldn't have been mad about it. And we still could have got Justin Reed and probably another corner. So, I mean, to me, it just looked like Rick Smith never had this type of money to spend in the offseason. And so he probably still could have pulled off this Honey Badger move. I mean, but we'll never know because he's not the GM no more. He got to take care of his wife dealing with cancer. So I wish his wife a speedy recovery. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing as a man standing by his wife. And that's all he needs to be concerned about. He's still part of the organization anyway. He's not fired. He's still, I forgot what his role was, but it's even higher than the GM.
So football operations or something.
Exactly. Like it's something of that nature. So he's in a much higher, if anything, he got elevated in his position. He didn't downgrade. So, I mean, that's what people fail to realize.
Hold on 1 second. We gotta alleviate some shenanigans before we continue this conversation. All right, cool. Now, y'all know how I feel. I'm not the biggest Rick Smith fan, but that's another conversation for another day because I gotta get some things taken care of here shortly.
Why all these damn Rockets channels and
Texas?
Don't you hate that? Like I know David Pritchard, so I know Texas Palace is in here because he just invited me to a little Insta chat group.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And shit out there. Shout out to David Pritchard. Absolutely. But man, just like he said a few days ago, bro, don't you just hate all of these fucking Houston Texans pages, these fake ass pages that just take your shit and repost your shit and act like they made the shit up when they know they didn't put the time in to do this? Like, I swear, I hate fuck niggas, bro. Like, I swear I do. Like, I do, bro. Whether you a male or female, I just hate you.
Yes, it's some fuck nigga females out there too. Couple of questions, little thing. Pat Bev or PJ Tucker? I'm gonna go with PJ Tucker because he's with us at the moment. Pat Bev, I appreciate what he did, but PJ Tucker he got some style about him. He like a halfway pimp, and then
halfway
Tucker, he can manage a little bit more position. So
what you trying to call him, DJ?
Man,
DJ man. DJ.
But a couple of things I want to get into before we get up out of here, man. First and foremost, if y'all enjoy having good conversation, man, make sure y'all slide and check out the Kush Den. Kush Den is just kind of a free for all conversation. It's a 420 friendly show, even though I'm 45 days sober for right now. But so again, if y'all want to talk about, I don't even know what we talk about tonight. I got the topic, but I gotta put it together. But my thing is, I want y'all to be ready because we about to start bringing y'all flavor damn near every night. I mean, we got a game plan. We about to start executing. It's sauce season. It's round table season. It's football season. And, last year was nice, when this thing first got started and Sauce Nation was cool. But we really finna take it to the next level. Like I say, we got a game plan. Like I say, we got us a weekly regimen. So once the season gets started, but my thing is, Just make sure y'all are part of this, man. Don't miss it. We do this every night at 7. We're going to have a lot more recorded stuff coming out. You already know how the pregame shows used to be lit. Post-game shows used to be lit, but we're going to bring the round table to the pregames and post-games. And that's going to start in the beginning of the first preseason game. And we back on. So, I mean, the football season is here. So I want y'all to be ready for that. I mean, if y'all know real Texans fans, y'all know sports fans, because, I mean, we primarily Texans, but, you know, we'll entertain some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you're respectful and all that, we got some Jags fans that come through. We got Titans fans that come through. We got, you know what I'm saying, Cowboys fans that come through. And it's all love, man. You know what I'm saying? And again, look, when we play the Jags, Clarence, we can make that shake. We can make something like that shake. I'll be with that. But like I say, the thing is, man, I'm telling you, we're gonna step it up. I'm definitely gonna step it up this year with the help of the round table, man. They've just been very inspirational. Y'all been very inspirational. I mean, we gonna take this thing to the next level, man. And so, again, but it's no sauce, it's no round table, it's no none of that without y'all. Because again, like I say this all the time, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients, but I mean that. You know what I'm saying? That's not just some shit to say. It's like y'all are what makes this shit so what it is, man, because all the different insights, all the different opinions, not all of us shit, even in the round table, we don't all agree with shit. We all have different opinions, you know what I'm saying? But that's what makes it what it is. We're not going to be like the 6'10s and all. We ain't finna give you this homogenous old everybody think the same. And we all agree with everything, and the Texans are never at fault for anything, and man, you know, everybody's great. No, shit, if it's some shit that ain't right, we gonna point it out. If the shit don't shake, we gonna talk about it. Like I said, if we have disagreement, we gonna talk about it. And the thing about this, like I say, with the sauce line being open during the season, when the games, if they go right, if they go wrong, you can call in. We ain't gonna put you on hold for an hour and a half and then say, oh, we ran out of time, gotta hang up on you. We gonna motherfucker, you gonna get your shot, even if you may have to wait a minute or two because somebody talking long. Hey, but we gonna call you back if we got to. Man, look, this is about y'all. We trying to have the livest sports platform in Houston. There's no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This thing will only grow, will only get better. And again, we need y'all's help. So, what that means is you got to tell your friends, tell your family, if they Texans fans, if they are honest Texans fans. Love you ain't no squares, because again, we gonna cuss, we gonna speak our mind. And again, if y'all want to call in, y'all got. Damn it, fucking Fuller and drop the goddamn ball. Whatever the fuck you want to do. You
let that shit out.
You let it. That's the point of this, man. Like, whatever it may be, I'm not wishing that on Fuller, knock on wood. But whatever it may be, whatever it may have, we're not going to censor you here unless you talk about some old suspect shit. But the thing about it is we want to have a platform where people can be real. That's what this is ultimately about. We ain't, like, again, you over there, watch what you're saying. You can't say that on the radio. Fuck all that. You can say what you feel here. You know what I'm saying?
Terrence, I mean, and Clarence, we're talking about, we're not going to add you to the round table because you're not a Texans fan. No. But what we will do, we've allowed y'all too many times to call in on the South line. You got a number. Like, if you calling from Jacksonville, we already going to know it's you. Just call in and go ahead and give you something. We'll give you your full platform. And when you hang up, we're going to have all the rebuttals to any of your questions. I mean, if you really want to do it that bad, I don't see no reason why we can't debate you live on camera. If you really about that life, then we might as well go ahead and appease him, Honcho. We might as well, because at the end of the day, he ain't gonna go away anyway.
So we can make it shake. Like I said, I ain't even tripping. We can make it shake. But that's what I'm saying, man. What's up, Trey? What's the motherfucking deal? You said should have heard 97.5 during the Kaepernick. A lot of these radio stations, man. I mean, the shit that really turned me off. A lot of it was just recently with the old buddy situation, Shady. You ain't proved nothing. He beat her up. Let's talk about Shady beating up the woman. And it's just like, damn, where's the evidence? Y'all got evidence I ain't got? Y'all got some shit in prosecution? I mean, what the fuck? What's shaking? Like, what y'all know that we don't know? You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, dog, like, here we gonna give you a difference of opinion. And again, it may be some of us at the round table that feel that way. It may be some of us that feel completely different. But again, the discussion is here. It is going to get talked about the way you want to. It ain't we ain't worried about pissing off no sponsors. We ain't worried about none of that stupid shit. It's about having a real conversation. And
if anybody was to sponsor anybody from the round table, or if they sponsored us as a whole, what we going to have up front, man, we ain't changing our format to appease you. Because it's not that beneficial, because we don't want to get away from our fan base and what's original and what's real for us. So at the end of the day, if it ain't right for us, because we're the product, not you. If you want to come along for the ride and support us and put money behind us, you just gonna do just that, and you gonna shut the fuck up and keep signing the checks. Like, I mean, point blank. I mean, nobody's gonna, you're not gonna impede our process because you want to get in. You wasn't here from the get go. Where was you at a year ago? You know what I'm saying? So let us build this shit the right way, because it's growing steadily, y'all. And we following the right people on the right social networking, and shit like that. So why do we need you again?
Exactly. Don't. And my thing is this, man. Like I say, we ain't gonna change for nothing, man. We're gonna keep it original. We're gonna keep the flavor fresh, and as long as y'all keep coming with it, man, we're gonna keep making it shake. But again, man. Like I say, just like you said, we ain't gonna change for nothing, man. Because people, they put some stuff. Well, you should do it. Nah.
How is it harsh, Ed, man? Because we sticking true to ourselves, and we don't want anybody to ruin the product that we're giving the true Houston Texans fans. First off, we're born and raised from Houston. We from Houston. We know the city and streets of Houston, and we reaching the masses of Houston, and we reaching people around the world, literally. Why do we need anybody else, and why is it rude to say and put in a plan of how somebody is going to impede the process on our product? We made this. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about this. People tuning in to us, been tuning in. Nobody can come in and think they can throw some money around to alpha males and think you can control them. It doesn't work that way. If you're a peon and you can be sold and somebody can control you with money, then hey, to each his own. But I'm not willing to bow down before no man just because you got a little bit of dough. Yeah, because I make mine just like you do.
But no, I see what you're saying about people. But the thing is, are we ever really just respectful to the Sauce Nation? We never really. I mean, unless you just say some crazy ass shit, you just come in with some shenanigans. We never disrespectful. No. We talking more like people who think that if they want
talking about sponsors
and try to come in and when people put money behind shit, they want to you should do this or you should. That's what we talk about with the people.
Yeah, we ain't say nothing about super chats. We ain't talking about super chats. We ain't talking about that. We talking about sponsors like if fucking Dannon. The people Dannon wanted to come on this bitch like, yeah, I like Sauce Sports. We want to promote y'all. If Air Jordan, if they want to promote us, Nike or some shit like that, okay, cool. But shit, at the end of the day, I ain't stopping my shit just because you want to get behind us. You know what I'm saying? You eat a dick. You ain't doing this. I'm going to keep them emails. And whenever y'all say, I can put them hoes on blast. And whenever I say, because at the end of the day, we don't have to change ourselves to make other people happy.
Exactly.
And I'm tired of that. It's enough of that going on as it is, and this is why a lot of these shows and a lot of this shit, because people don't stay true to themselves, and people recognize that shit, and we don't forgive that. So why do I want to be in the position of people that I hate?
Yeah. Exactly. But
I'm gonna complain about these motherfuckers, but then at the end of the day, I'm gonna do the same shit that they do. I don't like that.
Exactly. And the thing is, and like I said, we're going to sign off on this note, and I'm telling y'all the reason why we finna push real hard, because they watching. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
I done seen it. It's like I say, we ain't got to say no name, ain't even got to worry about none of that, because we doing what we going to do, man. Like I say, but they watching. So obviously some type of little attention is getting stirred up, something is going, and so like I say, we just going to go harder than ever. But again, like I said, let me go get wrapped up and get ready for the motherfucking Kush Den. Again, if you're not familiar with the Kush Den, go to kushden.com. We'll be live. Probably be another 9:31 again this evening instead of 9 o'clock. But gotta take care of one or two things before I get started. But like I say,
right.
If you're not following you got Wink, his Instagram, Third Coast 5100 right there. Twitter, Third Coast Sports. My Instagram and Twitter, both the same, Sauce Sports HTX. Make sure y'all follow on those platforms, man. Make sure y'all telling y'all people to make sure y'all sharing it with other Texans fans and people who fuck with it, man. But again, shout out to Miss Voodoo C. Shout out to Voodoo C for holding down the moderator duty. Shout out to everybody, man. Just shout out to each and every one of y'all. Martin Gunkel, I know he said it's 3 a.m. in Germany, but shout out to him, and shout out to Voodoo Child for some super saucy, super chat love. And
absolutely,
David Pritchett, appreciate that love, man. And linking me into some stuff, and definitely, like I say, we definitely gonna make that shake, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I don't ever want y'all to think I take that for granted. It's not just about money, it's about time, because like I say, time is the greatest asset you have, man. And the fact that y'all fucking with the sauce with your time, hey, there's no greater feeling than that, man. But with that being said, tomorrow, day one, training camp, we're going to be in a round table. It's motherfucking me going down tomorrow night. I mean, it starts. I mean, it's on. Tomorrow night is on. And from tomorrow night to the end of the season, hopefully the motherfucking Super Bowl. But it's football season. It's going down. So with that being said, man, for the Chuck of Deuce up at y'all, we appreciate it. Wink, I appreciate it, man. Another great Wink Wednesday. And we're going to do it
Absolutely.
again manana. Rest of the round tables, y'all in the mix. Can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. It's going to go down, man. So with that being said, we out.